Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm doing a halfway through August update on my TBR and where I'm at. What books have I read this month and what books do I want to finish by the end of this month? Obviously, it is not exactly halfway through the month. We're a few days over. I think it's the 17th. It's Saturday, so I've been, sleeping in, enjoying my weekend. I saw Alien Romulus last night. I really enjoyed that one. I gave it a higher rating than I think a lot of people would give it. It was a 4.5 out of 5 for me, but that's mostly because of the ending. I don't know if I'll do a review yet for that movie, but so I haven't done much reading on Friday, but I'm hoping today I can get at least 100 pages done from multiple books. But with that said, let me just go ahead and kind of go through what I've already read and finished for this month since doing my first video on my August TBR. So, firstly, I finished book 8 of Malazan Book of the Fallen, Toll the Hounds. I have a video out for that. It's a spoiler review, so I do apologize if you haven't read the series and you want to kind of see how the later books are. I'm sorry. There's just too much to talk about, and it was probably my longest book review that I've done at about 32 minutes that I did for Toll the Hounds. This book was incredible. I think it's my favorite book of the series. It's been a few weeks since I finished it, maybe a week and a half, and I think I just, I did finish it Saturday night last week. So yeah, it's been exactly a week since I finished it, but I was just, since finishing it, I've just been constantly thinking about it, and it's why I've been kind of slow in the next book. But I also finished, and I did a review on this, so I'm kind of showing these off first and then showing what else I've read. But I did read Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert this month. I finished that over the weekend, last weekend. And also on Monday, that's the day that I finished it, and I uploaded a review of it. So if you haven't seen that, please go watch it. It's mostly non-spoiler, but I didn't really mark where I go into spoilers, so you have to kind of really be careful. So I did label it as spoiler review, just to be safe, because I didn't want to ruin the surprise of anybody. And I did miss one very important detail when it came to Paul in this book, and it's mostly the fact that it doesn't really have too much of a bearing on the story itself, but it's just something new about him that I thought didn't need to be mentioned or something. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't mention it, but this is me kind of skirting around it. But I really enjoy that aspect as well. But this book is definitely a bridging novel. I'm very excited to get into Children of Dune. I believe that's the next entry in this Dune Chronicles. But I also read on audiobook. I've been continuing my Wheel of Time journey, and the most recent book that I finished is The Shadow Rising, book 4 of the Wheel of Time. This is when the series really comes into its own, in my opinion. It definitely starts with book 2, but after book 3, I think the Wheel of Time really becomes its own thing. And this is my third read now of Shadow Rising, so I feel like I'm just kind of blazing through the series now, just having fun, enjoying being around my favorite characters, Rand, Matt, not Perrin at this point. Well, I guess book 4 Perrin is the best Perrin, and then after that there's nothing with this character. But that's aside from the point. But I loved hanging out with them, Moraine, Lan, Avienda, Elaine, Fael. She's annoying at this time of the series, but I think that's just because of the point of view. We're seeing her through Perrin's eyes, and Perrin is not the most reliable person ever. He's actually the most unreliable in terms of judge of character, I feel like, especially with Fael. And he just does not paint her in a good picture, Robert Jordan especially. So there's a little bit of annoyance with that, but at this point, I don't know. I've kind of gone over it. I've gone over my, anger with it. Just like, oh my god, Robert Jordan, like, you could have written this character so much better. Instead of just, because it's pretty universal. Everyone I've talked with who has read The Wheel of Time, they hate Fael at this point of the series. In book 4, I think, with her and Loyal, and pairing the scene around those three characters is especially frustrating. And I was half listening during that section because I was just like, yeah, I know it. I know what happens. I'm tired of this. Get on with it. Get on with the story. But I also really enjoy all of the background info that we get in this book, especially with the Age of Legends and what happens in Wardion, I believe they pronounce it. But yeah, I just love this book. It's not my favorite book, but it's definitely top three, top four maybe. I may do a new ranking of the series, but I also don't really want to. I just at this point, this series is just fun reading for me to kind of help me continue my sort of pacing with reading and how many pages I read a day and all that. Another so to go on to the books that I'm currently reading, I'm continuing to read the Mahabharat. So this is the great indie epic, or not indie, but Indian epic, all about the kind of the concept of Dharma and also uh, recounting this war between cousins, and it's amazing. I'm loving it. I've gone a little bit further in it. I'm about 30% done. I just finished the pilgrimage of Yudhishthira. I think that's how you say his name. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying all of the new stories and stuff that we're getting in this particular section. I need to find a YouTuber who is like really like familiar with the Mahabharat, because I would love to have a conversation about this book when I finish it, and I don't want to just be kind of rambling about it myself. I want to get a Indian perspective, essentially, and kind of talk to them about this book, talk about why it's so important to that culture, also to talk about it as fantasy fans, but mostly just to really explore, the impact of this on the fantasy genre, and seeing, just kind of getting, a great discussion going. So if there's any Indian YouTubers out there that you would recommend for me to invite onto my channel to talk about this book, please let me know, because I would love to talk about this book when I finish it. It's one of my favorites already. It's very, I guess Malazan is very similar to this book in the sense that you have so many characters and they're all kind of related in some way. And you also get a lot of like gods and mortal kind of manipulations going on. And it's just amazing. I love the Mahabharat. But speaking of Malazan, I'm currently on book 9, Dust of Dreams. I'm about an eighth of the way though. I haven't been reading it as much as I want, but I'm really enjoying it. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. So, I'm really enjoying Dust of Dreams so far. It's fun to. I really love the prologue of this book. I think it's my favorite prologue. This is definitely the one that I most wanted out of the series. I think book 5 prologue is really fucking good as well. Book 7, if I recall right, that prologue was really good. And the books before that, I have no memory of the prologues, except for Gardens of the Moon, because, I mean, it's the first scene of the series. It's hard to forget it. But I'm enjoying it, as always. It's Malazan. So I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the month. I don't think I'll be able to start Crippled God this month, but that'll be my project for September, is finishing the Crippled God. And speaking of the Crippled God, here it is. I should have kind of rated, but after Dust of Dreams, I do want to read this book here by Travis Baldree. I've read the first one, but this is the prequel, Bone Shops and Bone Dust. And I love Legends and Lattes. I have to kind of remind myself what the name is. But I loved Legends and Lattes a lot. I read it in like a day or two last year when it came out, or maybe 2 years ago when it came out. I can't remember. But I really enjoyed it. It's really cozy. It's a great palate cleanser. So after finishing book 9, I think I'll read that and then go right back into Crippled God. So that's sort of the plan for the rest of the month and kind of first week or so of September. but I will always, of course, do a TBR video on the first day of the month just to kind of update everybody. So I'm excited to see what Dust of Dreams has for me. And I'll be really focusing in on that book for the next week or two, trying to finish that up. Maybe I can finish it by next weekend. I am going out of town Thursday, Friday, and coming back to North Carolina and on Saturday. I'll be traveling all morning into the afternoon. Maybe I can get here by 4 p.m. I hope so. I'm going to a concert in Orlando for a K-pop concert with a friend of mine, and I'm really excited to go. So yeah, so if you don't, I'll upload some more videos throughout the week. Until then, I leave on Thursday morning, really early. So we'll see if I can survive that. I'm trying to stay positive, but this is my first really big like traveling thing that I'm doing without family or friends or anyone kind of going with me. So I'm meeting a friend in Florida, and it's going to be really fun, but I just feel like there's a million different ways for it to like mess up somehow. So I'm really trying to stay positive and not kind of get stressed out about it, but it's really hard not to get stressed. But once we're back in North Carolina on Saturday, I'll be pushing ahead trying to finish Malazan Book of the Fallen. So I'm really excited for that. But enough rambling. This is it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. And let me know what you're reading for the second half of the month. I would love to kind of know what you guys are reading. So thank you so much, and please have a great rest of the weekend.